Hey, it's another update on materializing all the things in Elms. So it's still prototype, still in a highly developmental branch, but I want to show the rest of the team where we're at so far. So all almost got all iconography served out of the material design specs. Pretty much these two menus are about the only two things that are Zerb left. Um, you can see highlighting's changed on these. The icons have changed to use material icons instead. This is one of the few non-material icons at the moment because we don't have a cool network snowflake, oddly. You can see some of the subtle treatments to things, right, like previous and next using the icon, but then also using a bottom border that's angled in the direction that you would be going. So travel next, previous, showed those before with those stylings. Also notice the footer is using the sticky footer classes from material so that it's always there no matter how high the document is, which you would have noticed here, right? This is a small document, but yet the footer's at the bottom. We haven't changed any of the class structure here yet. I don't know how much I will actually because it kind of fits it pretty decently at the moment. You can see when we fire up outline, we've got the home icon different. We've got this floating here. Close that one away. Open my profile icon. Still some work to be done here, but you can see I've got my picture over top of kind of a banner picture of mine. Might use something like that as the default anyway. It's pretty cool. And then, the ability to go to my profile, log out. I need an image for impersonate account, which is, masquerade. Then, modal within the other context. And get into privacy settings. So obviously I need to make these close themselves when you click on them. There's also a fun glitch associated with that at the moment, but we'll go into that. Network and fly out. You see we have very consistent spacing using the header, the heading classes, if you will, from material, right? So this is in side nav. Still need to adjust the icons here. The icon and the spacing is slightly different, and the fonts on areas where we don't have material font icons used, which would be the ones included with the project at the moment. Off to the right, drastically clean this up. Still needs work to do. This is actually a modification of the way Drupal would normally implement a field set. So I added a property that if a project would have hashtag materialize for a field set, that it would then render it out in this form versus the other. So you can see this is also using the Accordion class, so these things fall away as needed. I could fire up speed reader, which again, expanding our modal within the middle of the document over top of the others. Need to get a good design convention there. Still, share button. So you've got, again, the Accordion class using the icon base nav. Going to edit. Started doing some additional cleanup here. This hangs out over here. It didn't before, which is kind of weird. But also, notice we have our text field animations. Whenever there's an item that needs filled in, right, for the label. Also, all of this spacing is now a lot purer to what material wants to be, as opposed to before. We're trying to gut all of Drupal's CSS as well as our legacy CSS over several years in favor of one standard. So it's getting there. There's still a lot to be done for sure here. Another area we've been working on pretty extensively. You can see in the media system. I haven't gone to all the other spaces yet, but so we'll try that in a second. But again, you can see some of these stylings applied. Let me make sure my caches are cleared over on this site. I'm doing a lot of template modification. Working towards, but it doesn't work yet, these being the tab style. So they'll use materials tabs. We go to the home page. You can see, right, we've got the material cards in here, so much better than they were before. And you might also notice that hideous add button is gone in favor of this at the moment. Still playing with it, but it's stinking cool. So I've gone an extra mile with it as far as reskinning it, having an icon to try and represent each of the types that you would submit to the media system, and then a color so that they kind of flow pretty well. Also been working on document positioning as far as having multiple things open and the Z indexing being correct regardless, such as the Drupal admin menu being highest priority over the rest of the universe, as it should be if you're a developer. No one sees that. So a lot of work still to do. When isn't there with this project, right? But it's definitely getting closer and closer to being pure material. To see if it applies elsewhere. I haven't looked here yet, so this might be broken for a second. No, it's just down there, but it's clear caches to make sure it's using all the templates. So iCore is the asset management system we have for weird stuff. It's nice. And you can see I haven't done any accounting for these, but the menu just works pretty well as is. Also been messing around with the way that this works on much smaller devices, and it's pretty decent now as we move towards material for everything, right? Still have knowledge of who I am and call that out, and I can jump over to CIS and gotta get some of this clutter out of the way for sure. CIS, you can see I could add a global resource or set up my course or whatever. I could also scroll down, go back to the home page. There we go. C100. Access that service, right? And we're back into the book hierarchy, if you will, the outline, taking up a pretty decent chunk of real estate here, right? Like you can rotate the phone, if you will, and get it updated. Tabs work pretty well for these buttons on mobile. We do want something better for this, so we can kind of collapse this away when you're on mobile. Obviously, still playing with certain aspects of the interface for sure, but it's come leaps and bounds from 2 days ago even.